More Americans are using AI for financial questions. How's the AI responding? You might be surprised by the answer.
If you can remember from our conversation a couple of months ago about this topic, I gave it my tax return information and my profit and loss statement for the business. And I said, hey, here's what my CPA has for our tax return. Obviously stripped out identifiable information, a statement, balance sheet, cash flow statement for the business, and said, what do you notice? And it was like, you didn't check this box. Check this box and you save 20% on your taxes. And I was like, well, I don't think I can check it. I don't think we're one of those businesses that are allowed to check that box. And it was literally like, yeah, but who's going to know? It's like just straight up like, let's commit tax fraud. Who really? I mean, read the room, man. There's just not a lot of IRS people out there anymore, just live a little. Basically, it's like, okay, this is awful advice. The only thing it did to save itself was it just said, if you don't think you should check with your CPA, but I really think you should. But here's what you should say to your CPA to get them to say yes to check that box. And I'm like, but financial planning doesn't count, as one of those businesses. It's specifically excluded. And it goes, right, but aren't you doing more like consulting?
Wink,
Can
wink.
you just say you do consult? Like, it was like trying to give me bad information. So,
which is another reason the more you know, the better the tool's going to be. Because you know enough to go, hey, back down, buddy.
Yeah, and it still wouldn't back off, which is interesting. Because if I didn't know that, if I was just a John Q taxpayer on, going, hey, I'm just going to have this done. And it goes, hey, if you check this box, you save 20%. Like, are you sure I can? Absolutely, I'm sure. Says here in IRS code 1278.325, you get to. Be like, all right, cool. Never mind that they just made up the IRS code and the tax reference. And there's a lot of that going on Instagram too, even in person. So it's not like this is unique to AI. Because also remember, where is AI getting its information from?
From the large output of information available globally.
So if there's a bunch of, let's call it less than,
savory,
savory tax advice in the universe, it's going to pull that as if that's gospel, right? And so how does it judge? I'll just pick on somebody's favorite Instagrammer. How about Grant Cardone? Like him or hate him, got a great following, right? He's got a social post on there that says, you should never buy a car. You should always write it off for your business. Go get that G-Wagon and write it off for your business. That's the post, right? So that gets a lot of virality. There's a lot of commentary around it. It's provided in its own little social proof of like, wow, there's a million people like this. This must be good information, right? Because there's not a person to back check that. And while there's some part of that that's true, where you can expense a vehicle for business purposes, it's not quite as simple as, can I buy a G-Wagon and write it off for my business? It's not that uniform, right? It's not that cut and dry. But if that's the information that's out there and AI is getting information from what's out there, right? You can see how this can just, and by the way, I'm pretty sure the tax court's not going to let you say, well, I don't know, Your Honor,
ChatGPT.
Claude told me to do it this way. They're going to go like, great, well, Claude's not serving the penalty for you. That's going to be, you're going to write the check for that, not Anthropic.
Yeah, this goes hand in hand with the piece that we did recently about, would people rather get advice from AI or from a trusted relative who knows nothing about the thing? And if you remember, the difference was, though, people would rather go to a trusted individual because of the fact that no matter how hard it tries to be likable, AI can never have skin in the game. Mm-hmm. Where a trusted individual will go, maybe I should back off that a little bit. Where the AI will continue to tell you to go.
There's a lot of great uses for all this stuff. The best way to learn it is to,
play.
How I do it is play it. Like I learn best by doing and then going, what happened based on this thing.
I think the big takeaway point here is that it's like any tool. The more you know about the topic, the easier it's going to be to prompt it toward much more specific use cases, which are going to help even more. So AI is not what you've been looking for if your goal is to learn less about topics. It's going to help you when you know more to even increase maybe the speed or the depth of your knowledge.